first we'll start off with a little recap. If let's go with got Plana
again. Okay. We found out about turned out not to be evil. Gave Lana magical. We then met. Was it? I don't know what it was called.
You're cutting out quite a while.
Yeah. Hey, I live in London. What is this? Yeah. Okay. So we met the evil druids that turned out not to be evil, just annoyed at everyone. Relatable. They gave Lana some things. We then went to go and find something evil that Nick's summer soul. Wraith. That's the one. And killed that, and that's where we left it.
Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, you kind of stumbled through the woods a bit, blah blah blah. Came across the gate, had a bit of a problem-solving issue with how to access the Druid's Gate within the Bramble Woods. Managed to overcome that. Upon finding out some information from within, you then continued forward, stumbling on a series of dead bodies and some people investigating them, and then being attacked by the wraith that appeared, that then you had to encounter and defeat together. It was quite a hard feat, to the point where Summer ended up staring at her own soul fading away in front of her own eyes before she had the chance. She immediately grabbed and tried to pull back her soul into her being. Fortunately for her, she was successful, and you rested for a short while. Not quite a long rest, but a few sort of maybe an hour into the evening further, and just kind of re-get your breath back. Upon doing so, you guys, you find a time where you are training with each other a little bit, and you pick up a few sort of extra little bits that you didn't realize were as easy as they end up coming to you. So you of course gain the benefits from leveling up last session. And yeah, so Godplana ended up with a quiver known as the Nature's Fletcher. That's the quiver of the forest. And yeah, that's where we left it. The night is dark, other than the moon, the large moon that fills the spaced out roads, and the lanterns that are sporadically distanced to light the way. Could I have a perception check from you all, please?
Do you have access to my sheet?
Do I have access to your sheet?
Yeah, because I'm not actually at home yet, and still just driving home.
Sure, no worries. I'll roll for you.
Thank you.
I just got home and mobile being asked. Give me a second.
No worries. Yeah, I think I will need that one more. Let's see where we get there.
Have you been the victim of unfair treatment by a business or a corporation?
What is going on?
Has this ever happened to you?
Has this ever happened to you?
Netflix. Please Netflix. So sorry about this.
Sorry.
While we're waiting, Nick, what is your
Sorry.
Oh,
It says randomizing dice rolls, sort of. I take offense.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick, what's your opinion on, like, when it comes to multi-classing? Does there need to be a significant story element to?
Ideally, I'd like some sort of reflection to why you are multi-class in that particular field.
Okay.
If it's something you wish to do later down the line, then we can discuss it out of game. We can come to some sort of RP way of how that has occurred.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm not planning on multi-classing into cleric or anything like that, so it wouldn't be a huge character point.
No.
Just Jirek's a stabby boy, and he wants to get better at stabbing. I think is his
no worries.
primary motivation.
That's fine. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the majority of you are successful. As you're walking through the road, you're walking about another hour from where you are, and you begin to hear the gasping and groaning of something in the far distance. The same direction as the firefly that has been accompanying Goplana is heading. You soon find a break in the trees. As you rustle through, you stumble as you bump into another half-elf, one you recognize. This is, of course, Shael Adrin.
Nice of you to join us.
Papa.
Papa.
You finally caught up to me.
I did. Have you been? I missed you.
Yeah, I'll approach them. I'll go and hug Clarence.
Let's go back to this. Papa.
You're not looking too good.
He did say Papa. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
That's a curveball. Can Jirek try and get an idea for how old these characters are?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You can roll a general nature check, let's say.
Nature. Okay. Okay, 15. That's not bad.
I mean, you probably be able to maybe get an idea of what age Clarence is, but Shael being half elf, it's a little bit harder to distinguish what his age might be.
Yeah. And Clarence is a gnome, right?
Clarence is a gnome, and he is young even for a gnome.
Okay. No, I'm not against the idea of adoption. I think so. I think if Jirek's taken aback and goes like, "Wait, what?" Like just for a quick second, but
so you have this moment to kind of establish where you guys are and where Shael has been for the past sort of several hours, or more than several hours, given that he left much earlier than you guys did in the morning, the day that you decided to help out Lord Gormax with the Captain Gormax with the Shade Watch's predicament in finding out where their men and the hunting party had disappeared to into the woods, and the speculation around that it might have been something to do with the druids. As you stand up in this space and you actually look around you, before you now, once a pathway to what is now a graveyard ruin, forgotten by the ages. This expanse within the woods seems to have had recent visitors. There is a camp set up nearby, and a partial burnt scroll on a standing platform. A glowing green rune and scripted writing glow from it. You give me a moment, I'll move you on to that sheet.
Yeah, as we reconvene, you see me snapping my fingers once. Then as I snap them again, actually a black cat appears in my hand. Out of nothing. You see me petting the cat and leaving it down on the floor, on the grass.
All right. Can I have can I have Kega have a sniff around to see if there are any, like, if there's anyone sort of like lurking behind a gravestone or anything like that?
Sure.
Just so we don't get ambushed.
An investigation for him.
Ooh. Could it be perception instead? She's got an intelligence of 3.
I mean, if Kega wants to just have a vague look around, then yes, you can do perception. But if you're really trying to look for some,
the idea was basically like sniff the air, see if she can smell any rotting flesh.
yeah, sure. Okay, roll a general perception then. Yeah, you can. Kega begins to sniff the air and the ground around, and there's kind of, from the perspective that you entered this area, you're kind of off to the side, so you don't quite see the graveyard itself, but Kega kind of gets a bit closer to where this stand of this open scroll emanating this glow from, and just kind of like sniffs off to the side, sort of like around like a corner of these stone pillars, and you can hear that Kega's making like a growl that's really not pleasing to hear. She's clearly just not happy about this scenario.
Okay. Something's fucky. I mean, that's obvious, but on your guard.
Hey, Summer.
All right.
Hello. You fancy going to look in that tent with me?
Okay,
You're sure?
I'll go with you.
How old are you?
37.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, Lana, I'll go with you.
I'm middle-aged.
Somebody kick the gnome.
Are you going to have a look in the tent?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. As you go and walk over to the tent, and you kind of move the sheets to have a look. It just collapses. Even though the tarp is still in relatively good condition. It's been here a few nights and it's clearly been blown about in the wind a little bit and lost its structural integrity, so it does just kind of fall over. But as it does, you can kind of see just inside there seems to be a simple roll out sleep bed and a series of like pillows and such, but other than that there doesn't seem to be much more in the tent.
Straight back to square one.
Okay.
No. You begged me to look after you. You're not going to live. Please, just let me.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
going
as
for that.
as the tent collapses, so just go to the side and hide behind the tree.
Okay.
Been on the ready, as Jirak said that Kega smelled something.
Yeah, no worries. As Kega's looking around Jirak, can you make me an additional separate perception check for me, please?
Who is that? Sorry.
Jirak. Are you muted, Jirak?
Say again.
Just a standard perception check from you, if you could, please.
Sorry, having slight connection issues, unfortunately. Perception. Oof.
It's enough as you kind of walk around the space to get a feel of what may be triggering Kega to be a bit more on edge. You see that there is a glowing aura from behind the ruined pillars, and as you look around them and investigate a bit further into the graveyard, you can see that there are 3 floating skulls connected together with some sort of energy tethered, and you see a shuffling form beyond this expanse, and you kind of see it walk nearby these glowing red skulls, and you hear like a crack, like a thunder crack, and it kind of debuffs the form from it, and it kind of like forces it off into a different direction from away of these skulls. As it hits some sort of barrier, you see a dome-like soft energy glow and flash around the area of the graveyard. And if you give me a moment, I'll kind of let you see what you can see.
Just in case it wasn't clear, me and Kega are taking cover behind the pillars,
Sure, no worries.
just to avoid being seen.
Right. Which one of us is going to be the idiot that touches the book?
From my position, can I see if I can, like, I don't want to say read it, but have a look at it to see if I understand the language at the very least?
Yeah, sure.
I speak Common, Orcish, and Dwarvish.
Okay. You instantly, I can tell you, you don't recognize, you can't read the language, but what you remember one of the symbols being very similar to what Goplana showed you in the journal that she found upon Wizcrack's body, which
the drawing logo thing.
Yeah, with this, they had a series of what she would refer to as druidic.
Okay. I motion to Lana and like point to the book.
It's just a single open scrolled page.
Oh,
just
sorry,
A single scroll.
yep.
Yeah.
I motion to the scroll.
I'll go and have a look.
hmm
I'm able to read what's on it.
Firstly, yes, you can. Would you be reading it out loud?
Probably not to start off with, but I'd probably relay it to Durak quietly.
Sure. It does say Sanctum Tal'Dorei sa tuve.
Ooh, Latin.
Tal'Dorei Saltuve. I've written out phonetically because I do not know how to speak Latin. Oh, never mind. I got the spelling right. I just typed tuve. Right.
Yeah. So the kind of shambling form that you saw come to these skulls, you hear the crack and the energy kind of bubbles around the graveyard, and the shambling form kind of like shuffles off in a different direction from where it was. Goplana, the firefly that you've been following all this time whizzes in front of your face and then whizzes towards the skulls and attempts to enter the grounds, and you hear a
Boris!
as it pops and is gone from sight.
I'm sure it was a face spirit. It's absolutely fine. And then Jurek turns around and is like, oh my god, oh my god.
Let's not touch that barrier, shall we?
So the barrier like starts at the fence here,
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty much covering over this whole sort of entrance to the graveyard. You can see the graveyard, and you can see these shuffling mounds of forms within. You can see that there is some destruction to this ruined graveyard. These large, like floating skulls with this tethered energy seems to be either keeping things out or keeping things in. You can't quite tell at this stage. If you've can I just relay? Goplana, have you relayed what the scroll has said?
Only to Durak so far.
So if you are reading out the words as you begin to relay the information to Jirak, as you begin to say the words, the scroll begins to hum. Do you continue to finish?
Do I hear that?
Yes, you hear it.
Then I'll get out of my car and be like, stop whatever you're doing.
Sorry, what?
Don't finish up reading that. It might
me?
actually break the barrier.
Or it can make everything a million times worse. Somehow.
That's not the way to say what I said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you didn't say it nicely, and now I'm tempted to do it out of spite.
I'm gonna pick up like a pine cone off the ground or something and like just chuck it at the edge of the barrier.
Yep. As soon as you throw it and it hits like where this bubbled energy field represented, it pops and just like turns to dust.
Okay. And then I'm gonna throw a stone at it.
Yeah, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. I don't have a dex attack, so I'll just roll. Yeah.
1d20
So
plus your whatever is fine.
Plus that, plus 4. Oh,
God. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, let's do 7. Oh, let's do 8 because the cat. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage. Which,
Is that just
no, sorry,
one? I'm
moment.
guessing.
It's,
It's literally just like a pebble. I was
oh,
imagining.
is it just a pebble? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
well, I was thinking like lift up a boulder over my head or
so
anything.
as you throw it, it's almost like a ricocheting bullet sound. You hear a as Shael, you take 1 point of damage. As
Really?
you're hit with
Ooh.
a stone that's ricocheted off of the barrier.
Okay, nothing can pass through. I was just checking, and then I go back to hiding.
I just look at him as he's hiding.
Jirek might be a bit dumb, but he's a scientist. He was checking to see if it was like living matter or like, I mean, stone's obviously not living matter, but pinecone is. So, yeah, it made sense in my head. Much like the bear badger scenario. There was nothing in the tent, was there?
I mean,
No.
there is equipment around, but there wasn't anything in the tent. I mean, if with the your previous perception, I can say that you do find a few archaeologists like bags that contain some equipment, just simple sort of stuff, troughs, brushes, chisels,
Okay,
a magnifying
archaeologist.
glass.
Right. The only way we're gonna do anything is either we turn around and we go away from this place, or I read that thing and we get ready to fight whatever's in there.
Things in there are definitely undead, right?
I definitely don't have enough energy. Her
You
hit
short
points
rested?
Could you
to
give me a
fight.
second before you read that out? Just let me see what this barrier is.
These things are corporeal, right? They're like they have physical forms.
The
Not like the wraith.
skulls or the shambling formed within.
Well, I assume the shambling forms. So which ones are the skulls? Sorry, could you ping them on the map, or have you?
The 3 that are tethered together directly in front of the gate.
Okay.
Have I not set that on the same layer?
I see 3 red.
Yeah.
What look like zombies.
Oh no! In that case, I haven't. What layer is it in? It's that layer. That's my bad. There we go.
Oh, that looks a lot more menacing now. Okay.
So I'll go up to the barrier and start looking around by the edges, doing the same thing with a few small pebbles to see where it is, where actually the barrier is.
Yeah.
And I'll try to establish its nature, why it's here.
Yeah, with your history in the arcane arts, and you kind of realize that the barrier very quickly pretty much is within the whole inner sanctum of this burial ground. You can tell that the type of magic is abjuration, and it is some sort of protection from undead. It's some sort of gate spell that's locking these things from escaping this expanse. However, you can also tell that it's not very strong.
Yeah, I relate that information.
It was strong at the beginning, but with it being up for as long as it's been up, it's clearly losing its grip on this area.
We haven't got
So
much
sooner
time
or
then.
later, it will just disappear.
You would assume so, most definitely.
So now, if everyone's ready, you can read the scroll.
Yeah. As long as there's nothing like else that we aren't aware of inside the barrier that we should be aware of before we open it.
What does it say on top of the monument? Can I read that at all?
From your distance, not quite. No.
Okay.
You can tell there is some sort of well, actually, I would say some of the symbols are very similar to the druidic that's written on that spell. This may be some sort of reflection of the barrier that's keeping up this area anyway.
Okay.
As we get ready to pop the barrier, I'm going to pull out my silvered hand axe that I got last session,
Mhm.
and just ready it to peg it at one of the three red skulls, the top one, for as soon as the barrier goes down.
Okay.
Can I pick up and move the scroll?
You can pick it up if you want to try.
Before she reads it, I'll tighten the leather strap around my hands and cast Mage Armor.
Okay.
Oh, actually, with Keen Mind, I know what it says now, doesn't it? Don't I?
Yeah. It does say a barrier to protect the world from undead.
Okay. Because I don't want to move. I don't want to pick it up first because we can get stuff ready to sling at them straight away. So if I move ahead, because the first thing I can do is cast Thunderwave and get the 3 skulls.
Okay.
I'm going to move to about by here, and I'm going to test out saying the first word.
Yep. It begins to hum.
Okay, cool. Before I do this, does anyone else want to do anything?
I am as ready as I can be.
I'm going to move forward a little bit, very warily, and hide over here.
Summer?
I'm gonna step way back because I'm not fighting. I'm
Okay.
in no health.
Just a heads up, you do have access to Laurel's sheet, so you may need to action any of her attacks.
Brilliant.
Where's Stan?
Stan's here.
Yeah. Which one? Oh, okay.
Why
This
do I
cat-
have a
this
sheet?
cat here.
I'm gonna cower. I'm hiding behind his legs.
You joining us up here, Summer?
Hello?
Hello, what?
It's about to get messy.
Oh,
Wanna go-
I'm getting the fuck away. Bye. I don't want to die twice. Nice.
Enjoy spending your evening sprinting towards things then. I ready the silver hand axe.
Where's Laurel?
You should have access to that in your journal now.
Anyway,
Oh, okay.
what is the worst that can happen? Only a drink.
Lovely.
Okay.
Right. If everyone's ready, I'll start saying the words.
Okay. Would you like to
Yeah,
read
I'll
them?
be staying by the edge. By the edge of the barrier.
Okay. So you repeat the words Sanctum Tal'Dorei Sa Tuve. And as you do, the skulls boom with an echo, an energy surrounds the woods, and the trees wave from the energy, and the skulls dissipate. The energy ripples through this barrier expanse, and the shambling forms in the distance begin to groan, and you hear a as the gate, the doorway from the crypt from behind bursts open. And a form exits. Purple smoke bellows from out of the resting crypt and begins to fill the graveyard. What do you do?
Regret my life decisions.
I'm gonna drop my axe or sheath my axe and pull the spear out.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to step forward and take because it's the first time I've been able to use it, take a defensive stance against the very front zombie.
Okay.
And wait for them to charge us.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'll unsheathe my rapier and direct your here again the low hum as I activate my blade song spell.
I'm gonna ready my longbow, a short bow even. Sorry.
Summer's hiding in the trees. Fuck yes. And Laurel will ready a short bow.
Okay. In that case, roll initiative. Is that everyone's initiative?
Yeah, I cannot click on the token because it's the mobile app.
Okay. 5 to 10. Oh, no, that's got plan. Go on, that one.
A 19.
Would you like your token any closer to them where you are? So,
Am I within 40 feet of the thing coming out? Or
no, you're not. But if you'd like
I
this
was
time
on
to
the
move,
edge.
then I will allow you to move.
I was on the edge where the barrier ends.
Okay. So you're over here. Good to know. Okay. If let me do a snapshot so you guys, so you can see that as well. So, practice and doing. Shael, it is your turn first.
Okay, so the three things are the skulls that became zombies, right? Or something like that.
Sorry.
You did break up when you were explaining.
So I've just
With the
clicked to you.
opening.
I did just click you across some a snapshot of where you are currently. So I don't know if that will help you.
Yeah, I see where I see the screenshot of the map. Those three things, are they moving the tree in front of me?
Yeah, they seem to have realised the barriers come down and has been beginning to turn, facing the exit and kind of shuffling their way.
Okay, I'll step into the nearest one.
Within melee?
On its side. Yeah, within melee, on the left hand side of him.
Okay.
And I'll stab him
Okay, go ahead.
with the
and roll
booming
the-
blade. That's a 22 to hit.
Yep, 22 will hit.
So that's 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And if it moves on its own, he gets some extra damage.
Okay, good to know.
And that will be my turn.
Oh, wow.
Bless you.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay. The form, much larger, more finely dressed in some sort of cultist's gown or something along them lines, a mask of a demon face on his brow, a hood, and a very tall, long looking quarterstaff. You see him stretch out his limbs. This sort of greyish shroud kind of envelopes his form. He looks at you becoming him. I cannot be defeated. I will only rise again. Only returning what has been taken will silence me. Soon I will consume more strength, and then I will consume the lands.
Thanks for the helpful tips, sir.
That foolish gnome know not what he had woken unto this land.
I didn't do anything.
And that's its turn. Clarence.
Clarence can't really do a lot from this far back.
I will allow for your last comment to say that you was behind the legs of Shael to be there, given the description was a bit awkward.
Ooh. So what is it, 25? I will bonus action Hulk up.
Okay.
and I will jump in the air and come down with my tiny wall.
Okay. Yep. 20 will hit. Oh, that's me rolling your damage for some reason. I didn't mean to do that.
I'll
Go ahead and
I'll
roll.
take it. No, I'll take
Well,
that.
you might get better.
I doubt that. 'Cause oh, it won't let me roll it now.
No, there we go. That's not too bad. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, I totally rolled the wrong. Wait, is that? Oh yeah, 7, 12.
Okay. So, Jirak.
Right. Jirak is going to ready a throwing axe, and I don't have 2 attacks, so I think I'm just going to run 30 feet. Gets me to there, and chuck it at this one here.
Mm-hmm.
With advantage because it hasn't acted yet.
Okay.
Oh, and ignore the top 5. It's just the 6 damage.
Yep, no worries.
Get rid of that. And I assume the zombie is not a beast, so yeah, 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then I will bonus action set my charge against that one there. So if it comes closer to me, I get to do some cool stuff.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Summer. You just staying where you are. Don't forget you're muted. Summer.
Sorry, you guys waiting for me?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just sorting out some lights. I'm fucking in a tree somewhere. Yeah, not really fancying getting in this fight. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Nobody's replying, so I don't know what to do.
What are you doing?
Nothing, I'm hiding in the tree. I don't want to die
Fine.
today.
Okay. First of all, you will need to roll a stealth check if you are hiding.
What do I need to roll?
Just stealth.
Stealth.
I gotta know how well you're hiding.
Pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so. Vanishes. You now become the tree. Okay. The skeleton form begins to maneuver. Behind you, there's Shael.
Oh yes.
And you hear its bones creaking as it walks, like really limply towards you. Makes a swing. Does a 17 hit? Xiao? Does a 17 hit?
No.
Okie dokie. In that case, the zombie, or zombies, will move towards you, Jirak. So if you want to do your charged effect, you can do.
Will do. So, without using my reaction, I believe I do Yeah, opportunity attack. Oh no, his reaction. Yep, that does an extra die of damage. So be that.
Five piercing, is it?
14 piercing.
Oh,
5
14.
piercing from the extra damage.
Nice. Okay, this one, given its last attack was from Clarence, he's going to take a swing at you, Clarence. And does a 17 hit you?
17 does hit me.
That's for 5 bludgeoning damage.
Just regular bludgeoning.
Yeah, just regular bludgeoning.
Cool.
And Kegger's turn.
Kega is going to, I think, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can only get there. Yeah, run around to this side. Oh, actually, no, this side. And take a swipe at the. Or take a bite, I think. No, yeah, take a claw attack.
Okay. Yeah, 11 hits.
Okay, and then it needs to make a strength saving throw.
Well, first of all, that reduces it to 0.
Okay.
But it's a zombie, so 1 second. Gives me. Let me see if. Oh, right. Nine. Yeah, so that's fine. It's not radiant damage, is it?
No.
No. So that's that. So it kind of Kegger swipes at it, knocks it to like the ground, and it like you think it's dead, and it begins to move as it revives itself.
If since it's not dead, did it fail the strength saving throw?
Well,
It's
it
only
would have
DC
gone.
12, but
Yeah, it would have failed automatically as it went to 0.
okay. So yeah, it gets knocked prone, and then I can bite it again as a bonus action.
Okay, go ahead.
And since it's prone, that's an advantage.
No, I can never remember if I can do this more than once. I think I can.
Yeah, you can, until you fail.
Oh, didn't fail that one. Okay. So yeah, you see Kegger actually rips one of his arms off, and you like see the energy, the life that's like looming in this zombie form fade, and as it fades, it blinks and it kind of re-emits as it begins to move yet again.
I sigh and ready my spear for another turn.
Okay, got Lana.
Okay, I'm gonna move to here. And I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna unsheath the sword
Which
and
sword?
shout the sword with the words. Hang on. Trisk Dressig on it.
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm gonna wave it at the guy and say, "You looking for this?" In a series of stupid moves that she's made today. And then I'll resheath it and take a shot at the swing with a short bow. Sorry. Second, short bow. 18.
Yeah, an 18 will hit. Yeah.
9.
The arrow goes through, and with such impact, it throws the zombie to the ground, spinning, and you see it kind of, the air escapes, and you think, yeah, it's dead.
Does that arrow, would that still be magical?
Yes.
Will not do anything.
Against this one, yes, it does. So it counts as a magical weapon against a magical attack against any undead, and it is infused with radiant damage, so it counts as radiant magic.
Yeah. That's the end of my turn.
Anything else from you?
Can I also wave the tablet at it as well? Be like, I also have this.
You can do, I guess.
Cool.
Okay, Shael.
After seeing what the planet is, first I found myself. The one next to me is still standing.
The zombie has been downed by Goplana. However, the skeleton form that's behind you, the undead skeleton, is still standing.
Okay, I'll turn around to the skeleton and tap him. As weird as it sounds, I'll tap the skeleton.
Mhm.
16 to hit,
Yeah, you hit.
and it's with the booming blade again. So,
Yep.
ooh, 12 points of damage.
Nice.
It is considered magical because of the cantrip.
Yep.
And if it's still alive, if it moves on its own, it gets an extra D8.
Yeah, no worries. You manage to, as you swing your blade around, you lop off the bottom half of its knee and one of its arms that was holding up like a wooden shield.
But it's still standing?
It is just about standing, yes.
Okay, so the other zombie is also standing.
The other
How
one,
far am I from?
I will give you a screenshot.
How far from the big guy?
Hold on. There we go. Works out you're about 30, 35 feet, let's say.
Okay, I'll get on the other side of the zombie that Chirac fighting. So I flank it with Chirac.
Okay, you may take an
So he can
attack of
finally-
opportunity to do if you
Yeah,
do
no.
so. Yep. So you want to get the other side of the one that Jirak is fighting.
He just on the other side of Chirac, opposite to Chirac, so he can finish it off.
Yeah, no worries. So let's do that. This is a 23 hit.
That would hit, but I'll catch you.
Okay, would have been for 4 points of piercing if you didn't, but okay.
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of HP.
No worries.
So I'll catch you that reaction.
Okay, good to know.
With the shield, my armor class is 26 until my next.
No worries, good to know. So
And that's my thought.
Yeah. So the form of the gate of the crypt, like you can almost imagine his eyes narrowing as he focuses on the blade being waved around. It's like, it can't be. You have the blade. How? And he moves forward. And he attacks. 2. Did you say 26 hits?
26 is, my hit right now.
So 26 will hit, but the 15 will miss. So you take one of those for 3 points of piercing damage.
Papa!
As he kind of like sheaths from under his cloak a dagger and like does like 2 slashes across you, one making impact and cutting across your chest, the other just narrowly missing your garments.
No save after that?
Not at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Clarence.
Clarence, Papa, no! And he's gonna dash and shove using his newly done charger feat. You see this little 3-foot gnome just running and trying to shove him.
Okay.
So what would that's a contested strength check.
Yeah, it would be contested.
I am raging, which means got advantage.
I would say so. Yeah, sure.
Come on. Oh, that is a natural 20 right there.
Nice. What happens?
He gets shoved back 10 foot.
Okay, yeah. She's there.
And can I follow him up with the rest of my movement?
Does it state that you do?
I don't think so. But I was just because I've still got movement left over.
If you've still got movement, you can, yeah, sure.
What is it? Yeah, it's only 15 foot there. Don't hit Papa!
Okay. Anything else from you?
No, that's me done.
Jirek.
Okay. Well, I will utilize my newfound advantage to the best of my ability and try and stab this thing with a spear.
Yep. Okay.
18.
Let's do the same thing again. Oh, 10 plus 2 is 10 plus. Ooh, yeah. You jab him with your spear, and you're pretty confident that this time you've made a good impact. Your spear enters as he tries rising off the ground, the rear of the skull, and you just hear the as he kind of is forced further to the ground. This time, not moving.
I breathe a sigh of relief. I've finally fucking killed it. And I am going to use my movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have exactly enough to get around the back of this cultist boy, so as to provide an advantage for my fellows.
Okay.
And I think, I'm gonna. So this guy's like covered in skulls, right?
Well, he's covered. His face, his brow is covered with like a skull mask. He's got a big tall hood. Pretty much how the image looks really. But he has like this shrouding smoke, like shadow that kind of envelopes his form. It kind of whips around, and you can see it kind of smoking off his shoulders and off his arms and his cloak and stuff. There's clearly something about him is not quite right.
I'll leave it for now. But I've got the spell slots for it, but I won't for the time being. That will be my turn.
Okay.
It will be Jarek's turn anyway.
Summer.
Realizing that these things are going down like the shit, she's gonna slowly start sneaking towards them.
Okay. You can use your movement twice if that's the only action you've got, because you have your movement
I
and your
can.
dash. Yeah, because you can dash.
Right, and I'll be behind this.
Okay. What about we haven't done Laurel. Laurel's not on.
I did roll for her.
What was her
Let me look back. Mine was the 12, 13. Hers was 8.16.
16?
8.16. 8.16.
Oh, 8. Okay. That's fine. And the skeleton will come up behind you there. Clarence.
Can I snarl at him?
I guess you could.
Thank you.
And he's going to attack you with his short sword. Does a 10 hit?
A 10 does not hit. Clarence laughs in the face of.
I mean, he's kind of hops over to you as it's got like only like portion of his upper thigh, and is like from the kneecap down are completely missing its leg and like one shoulder, so it kind of hops over to you, and as it reaches you, it kind of just swings awkwardly with its sword, completely missing. Kega.
Okay, Kega is going to, I think, run on this side and try and finish off this last skeleton. How far did she just move? No, not far enough. Okay, she's going to try and bite it. Advantage thanks to flanking.
Yep.
7 piercing damage.
Kind of see Kega preparing for her attack, almost with like a pleased, pleasant look on her face, as she grabs its bottom of its leg and rips it away from its form. The bones scatter across the floor, and Kega is left with this leg bone in her jaw, almost smiling at the fact.
I make a note to buy her. I don't know what her favorite food is, but I make a note to buy it and then give it to her later as a reward for doing so well.
She seems to like zombie leg.
She does like eating rotten flesh. I think the first "How do you want to do this?" we ever got was against a zombie, and it was Kega just like mauling him to death. All right, that will be Kega's turn.
Okay, then in that case, Summer, if you can do Laurel's turn.
So she comes, and then she's gonna fire the short at the one that's left.
Okay.
20.
20 will hit.
6 damage.
Kind of doesn't the arrowhead doesn't seem to go as deep as she would have expected.
Okay.
Okay, Goplana.
Okay. I'm going to use from here. Can I see inside the chamber?
Just with the amount of smoke that covers this area, you can't quite see. You can see that there's some sort of dissension into this like crypt doorway, but you can't quite make out much from where you are.
Okay. Right, so I'll go back to my original plan then. I'm gonna move to here. I'm gonna take a shot at it with my bow.
Mm-hmm.
10.
10 will miss.
Okay. And with that, I'm gonna pull out the sword and this is. Hey, Deathface, you want it? Come and get it. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Shael.
Famous last words.
Goodbye, world.
I'll move up to that guy because he got shot. Right.
Sure.
So I'll get in melee with and tap
Okay.
again with the booming blade.
Yep.
19 to hit.
19 will hit.
5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And the same if he moves, 1d8.
Yeah, no worries.
That means my shield fades now, so my AC is back to 21.
Okay. So he seems that he's becoming surrounded by Yawl. He spins around and stabs at you there, Jirak, with his dagger. 23 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
For 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And as he spins, he throws out his hand towards Goplana and casts darkness.
Uh-oh.
So currently, oh, who's being arrested? Yeah, I believe we are looking. I think it's there. Is currently covered in darkness. Okay. Clarence.
Clarence, having seen this epic display of attack and magic, he will let out a guttural, raging scream, even for a tiny little forest gnome, and enter a frenzy. That the one pulsating vein on the side of his neck is accompanied by a second on the other side, and he is gonna swing with his warhammer ferociously for 23.
Oh, it will hit.
For a pitiful 8 points of damage.
It's not magical, is it?
It is not magical.
Okay. As you unleash your attacks upon him, kind of seems quite solid, and you think, you're not quite making the impact you would hope.
But is it making an impact?
Indeed, yeah, it seems to be.
Okay, in that case, he will again, as a bonus action, unleash his warhammer once more.
Okay.
For 19.
19 will hit.
And that's even worse.
Okay. Every little helps.
And he's just going to gnash at him as well. Just...
Okay. Jirek.
All right. Jirek is seeing as my companion's non-magical weapon, I should say, didn't do very much. I will drop the spear and use the silver axe instead, hoping that will sort of substitute for it and make one attack with advantage. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that'll hit. And it does seem to make him flinch a bit. It's like, ah!
Aha! I found your weakness. Weapons. And then I think as a bonus action, I'm going to pose dramatically, and that will be my turn.
Dramatic pose. Summer.
I'm just gonna carry on. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Kega is going to run around and join in the fight.
Okay.
Uno's bite attack. Oof. Not doing that. And as she runs up, Jirek is going to give her a little scritch on the head and tell her she's doing a very good job and it's okay that she didn't get this one. And that's going to be her turn.
Okay. Laurel's turn, please, Summer.
She is just short. 18.
18 does hit, yeah.
That's 5 points.
Okay. Go Plana.
Okay. I'm gonna move. Oh. Yeah. If I can, am I able to like move around the pillar? Because I remember it was right in front of me. Am
you
I able
can-
to like
You can
feel
kind of
my way around?
Yeah, you can kind of feel it there. I mean, you're literally right next to it, so you could use that to move around it
Okay.
if you wish.
Yeah, I'll move around it. Kind of around that way,
Mm-hmm.
and come out of the black spot.
Okay.
I'm also gonna flip the asshole off, and then short bow him again.
Okay.
22.
22 will hit.
9 radiant damage.
It's like you see the petals swirl around the arrowhead as it penetrates, and it's like growls again as he looks down and just like pulls it out of his chest, looks at you very angrily.
I told you, if you wanted it, come and get it.
Shael.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Where's the darkness? It's somewhere around
you're
me.
not near the darkness. You're okay.
Okay. So I'll continue on stabbing the guy.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Am I flanking with someone?
You're flanking with Kegger.
Perfect. Perfect.
The 13 does not
So
hit.
the higher one is the 60. The others are 8.
Okay.
16. Does 16 hit?
16 does hit. Yeah.
So that's 6 points of piercing damage, and I continue with the booming blade. So
Okay. As your attack hits, you see him kind of wince, and he like almost narrows down. He looks around, and he just bamps out of space, and then bamps right next to Goflana.
Hi.
All that's
think
left in
dancing was a good idea.
in his wake is like remnants of the black shadow mist that was surrounding his form.
Nick,
Yes.
as a raging barbarian, allow me a reaction to try and grapple.
You would if he was moving regularly. Unfortunately, this movement does not
Okay.
grant an attack of opportunity. Sorry.
No, that's fine. You don't ask, you don't get.
Indeed. And he looks at you, Goplana. He grabs the blade, allowing blood to peer down his hand, and he lunges at you with his dagger. One, two. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
Which means that the 20 will also hit.
Yeah.
You take 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And he kind of, you can see just under the mask portion of his mouth. It kind of looks really gaunt and drawn into his face, almost like any like moisture in his muscles or his skin is kind of drawn in, almost like mummified in a way.
Did you say he was wearing a mask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jirek. Oh, sorry. Was it Jirek? No, I think I missed someone. Clarence. Sorry.
It's all right. I am going to. I think he's just a little bit.
I reckon you could get him. I reckon you could get him from there.
Yeah.
It's your 25 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, you can get there.
I'm gonna engage him once again, and I haven't got advantage, have I?
And not at this moment, no.
But
Not
I'm
from
going
flanking.
to.
Yeah.
I'm going to recklessly attack him.
Okay. Yeah, the
For
18
18.
hits. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna, as a bonus action, hit him again. 20.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, that's better.
Nice. How do you want to do this?
Sorry, all I heard was how.
How do you want to do this?
I want to, like parkour up his body and shatter, like literally his head just pops.
Okay. So as you clamber up his body, similar to how you did with the Wraith, you...
Did I do that before? Oh, man.
This time you make an effort to try and crush his skull. However, as you do so, you feel the crack in the skull, but then your hands slip through and you fall to the ground, and instead of this solid form, you see this pale white corporeal form that begins to whip around and rush into the crypt as it disappears from sight.
Did it take the blade with it, or do we still have the blade?
You
I
still
think
have
I
the
have the
blade.
blade.
Pardon?
You still have the blade.
We still have the blade.
You see, like, from the grass, like this, almost like reaching tendrils reaching out from the ground where he once stood, start to evaporate and disappear into the ground, but his pale ghostly form rushes down into the crypt.
If combat's over, Clarence is going to collapse on the floor.
Okay.
Breathing just...
Seems that the area
I'll
is
calm
clear.
him down. Yeah, you see me rushing to Clarence, calming him down.
Okay.
You're right, boy. You're right. You did good. We're alive.
How do I add
Don't worry.
exhaustion to my character?
Sorry, how do you?
Add exhaustion.
You shouldn't need to at this stage. You'll be alright.
Oh no, I do, because like I go into a deeper rage, but when I'm done, I've got a level exhaustion.
Oh, fine. I see.
And that's what gives me the extra bonus action attack.
Yeah. Let me open your character sheet, and there is a way of doing it. I thought I had sorted it, but clearly I didn't. Clarence sheet. This one.
Oh, here we go. Exhaustion tracker 1.
You got it?
Yep. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, yeah, so you're now surrounded by this graveyard. The purple smoke kind of seems to be wisping and being dragged or sucked into the crypt once again. But as you look around, there does seem to be a few things laying around by these creatures that seem to set an attack against you as soon as the barrier went down. You do find a rotting, twitching hand that has a tattoo between the index finger and its thumb, and it seems to be of a fattened worm-like shape, and it seems to be kind of pointing in like directions as you see it moving around. You see a regular aged short sword from one of the skeletons that was attacking you, along with its short bow, very aged, so not in the greatest conditions. On the ground where the undead necromancer once stood, you see a singular bloodstone, which is worth, you guesstimate, around 50 gold pieces. And you see 2 moonstones that are market for about 50 gold pieces a pop. Madison, Summer, you see on the floor by where you are, kicking around from where one of the zombies were, you see a stick that's probably about 1.5 feet long, but it's very disjointed. It's bent and it's warped, and it whips around. And you see a palm-sized stone as well that seems to be a particular neatly formed shape.
I'm gonna pick them both up.
Mm-hmm. Where everyone is. Shael, you do find a pouch, Shael. The contents seems to be some sort of dried out leaf or grass like substance. You guesstimate it's about 2 grams in weight.
Two grams of what? Can I see what this is?
You could do a nature check if you like, or probably a nature check.
$50.
Yeah, you open it up, you have a feel. It takes you to like waft it in front of your face to get a very strong scent, and you recognize this scent as shade grass. Something that is in abundance and not much used near Duran.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But is it a drug or?
You have heard of rumors of people using shade grass for such purposes, but you haven't experienced it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, guys, what do you want to do? The smoke is being currently dragged back into this crypt.
I'll hand the pouch to Lana. You might actually know better what this is, and you might find it more useful.
Not quite a potion, more a pouch of grass or herb, all sorts.
Shall we go in it?
I think some of us may need to rest up a little bit, and I sort of motion to Summer because, I mean, it wasn't exactly nasty. It wasn't exactly very nice outside, and I'm guessing it's only going to get worse the closer we get to its lair.
Oh, I'm sure it gets worse. As you having the rest, if you need anything for identification, I can do that.
I think the sword, maybe, because he definitely wanted to get his hands on it.
Yep, that's what I was thinking also. It will take me an hour.
Well, in that time, I think the wounded of us can, become unwounded.
By this time in the day, the sun's probably at its highest peak. Sorry, the moon is probably at its highest peak.
Okay, so it's like long rest time. Well,
It's really
out of
up to
game.
you,
Like
but
it's reasonable that we would go to sleep at this point.
all I would say is that the likelihood is that he's rushed down into the crypt for a reason, and the longer you leave it, the more chance that something else may occur.
Let's fucking go, bros. In the crypt.
Well, I defer to Lana. Either we rest up, get everything topped off, and it's harder, or we go in slightly sure-handed with less to face.
He said he'll come back. That was one of the first things he said. That if we kill him, he'll come back. I don't want to stick around out here for too long.
But he said that something would be his doing.
Pardon?
He did say that something would be his undoing. Maybe it's
I think it might be the sword. I think we've got to use the sword to kill him.
Then do we go
Shell,
down?
can you identify that?
What?
Can you identify the sword while we're talking? Because
Are we
I'm
going to be out
feeling it
here
might
for an
have.
hour?
They said it will take me. No, actually, it will take me 11 minutes to do that.
Do we have 11 minutes?
Yep. It's a ritual thing I do that helps me identify the magic in different position, item. So if you're willing to take 11 minutes,
I'm happy to wait 11 minutes, but not now.
I say we
that's
wait.
so have the sword.
Because if that's the sword of, if you carry this into the crypt, it will summon a million demons. Which, I mean, it very well
That's
could be.
true.
We could take him.
I
Just
say
a
we
quick,
don't touch the
quick
blade.
rest. Seconded.
Because I don't want to. This guy, Drisig, or whatever his name is, he doesn't sound fun. I say we have a limited contact with the metal in there as we can.
Have I heard of that name?
Roll a history check.
A bad roll.
The name sounds familiar. You know like it's something to do with the Great Battle of Tal'Dorei, but you don't know the finer details, or at least recall them at this stage.
Oh. Yeah, I relay at least that. So yeah, it has to do something. This salt is really old. Can I identify?
Okay, so your 11 minutes pass.
Yeah, so you see, if they give me the salt, you see me walking around with my spell book that you see for the first time, drawing some things on the ground, then sitting inside what I've drawn and laying the sword on my knee, start tracing it with the small feather and a gem, and just going that for the next 6 minutes. But it took me 5 minutes to set it up, and then 6.
Yeah, as soon as the spell takes place and it connects with the blade, it's the similar sort of school of magic that the protection spell had. This is abjuration. In terms of the sword itself, the only information it seems to be vibing back is that it's an ancient sword of a warrior known as Triss. Other than that, it seems to have been imbued with this abjuration magic to protect or lock in something.
Is it a long sword or a great sword?
Long.
It is a long sword.
Okay.
What's the question? Am I able to use this sword if I need to, DM?
You want to, if you wish to use it. Do you have proficiencies with that type of weapon?
I don't know. That's I'm not sure where I can find that.
On your sheet, it should tell you your proficiencies.
I think elves get some proficiencies with weapons.
We're half elf. So we
Yeah.
don't get.
I know some half elves. There's a variant rule that you can pick, like I don't know if it's wood elf or whatever, but you can pick to have their bonus proficiencies.
Your club, dagger, dart, javelin, mace, quarterstaff, scimitar, sickle, sling, and spear. I mean, you can most certainly use it. You'd just be non-proficient in it, so you wouldn't be able to use it as effectively as you would like. There's no reason why you couldn't train to become proficient in using a longsword if you wanted to at some point, if that's what you chose to do.
Okay.
I have a different question. So, from the identify spell, I got only that this abjuration going on that, like, keeping something inside the sword.
Not inside the sword. It just seems to be, as you look at it, you've been looking at it for an extensive period of time. You can see that there is some sort of like remnants of like stonework that seems to have been molded onto the hilt of the handle that is left particles in its place. So it seems that something used to hold this blade.
Oh, so this blade might have been once under under an abjurative spell to stop people from finding it.
That didn't work.
Probably.
Oh boy. I think we've got a real doozy here, boys.
Still, that what worries me is that I cannot actually identify what the magical sword is. So this abjuration might be covering the actual magical sword.
Either way, avoid using it, I feel, because I don't want to, assume anything, but that necromancer was evil, right? Raising undead is a pretty evil thing to do, and he seemed to want it quite badly. and it's the amount of things that good and bad people both want. Like the area they cross over is very rarely in the realm of magical relics. It's usually like lore. But I doubt we should keep a hold of it, let alone use it.
I'm gonna resheath it
Okay.
and keep it on me.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we can walk in with it. It might be dangerous.
I'm not letting go of it.
Then hope he's not taking it by force. We're going.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Are you all going? Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Indeed.
As you enter,
I would like to. Oh, never mind. You go first.
as you enter the crypt, you begin to descend into a darkness. The purple mist sort of follows you down as you descend into this darkness, and you hear in the distance a sliding of stone across stone as you hear a the stone booms and echoes as something seems to be sealed deep within this crypt. You reach the base of the stair. You come across a heavy, pale, cold stone-like door with no handles. If you wish to roll a perception check for me each, please.
Is that everyone?
Anyone that wishes to look, yes.
Really good.
Do you want to do one for Laurel? Or?
Oh yeah, I can talk about
Since none of us did well.
that. There you go.
Okay. You see an image next to the door, and on one side, on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, you see a lantern on the other side of the door, on the right-hand side.
No writings on the door.
There's no writing on the door, no. But as I say, the only things that you manage to perceive in near this door is an image to the left of the door and a lantern on the right.
And I investigated a bit further the image, the door itself.
The image, yeah? Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Fucking rolls. I roll like shit. 11.
I mean, it's really dark down here, even with your ability to see. Can't quite make out. It's quite dusty and dark and quite aged down here to really make out. You can make out like more like a shape, if anything, but you can't quite see what it is. It's clearly very old.
That's a really old drawing.
Anyone else doing anything?
So just to visualize, can you describe the room again, please?
So you are in a very narrow stairwell at the base. Oh, someone's drunk. So you're at a very narrow stairwell. You each manage to just get down into this space. There's a 15-foot by 15-foot base stand, and then you have in front of you the full width of this area a stone doorway, and to the left of the door there is an image that is at this stage not found what it is, and to the right you have an unlit lantern, like a holding lantern.
Okay. I'm going to go and light the lantern.
Okay.
I'm sure I have a torch or something in my bag. Let me double check.
While he does that, I'm going to do an
torch.
investigation on the drawing.
Okay. Yep.
While
Yeah, I'll
everyone's
use my
busy
tinderbox
doing-
to light it.
Okay.
While everyone's busy doing actually important things, I was just going to take the cat bag, stroke it.
Okay.
Am I okay to
Yeah, roll your investigation if you're investigating. That's fine. Yeah.
make an investigation check?
Wonderful.
Don't know
18.
my things awful today.
Lay off the liquor. So yeah, you managed to see that this image is of. Well, I'll show you. Hold on one moment.
Props.
Who are you? You're Ellie. Ellie, can I move you to there? No, I can't move you to there. Why did that not work? That will work. So, currently you're the only person that can see this. Good planner.
Okay.
But this is the image that you see.
Interesting. Oh, it's a puzzle.
Sorry?
It's a puzzle.
Mm.
Am I able to relay anything back to the group?
Yeah,
or
you can
do they...
you can tell the group if you want on what you've
Yeah, I'll tell the
unveiled.
group what it is.
Okay.
Is it wood? Is it stone?
It
or
seems
is it
to
like...
be a series of 9 squared stones, and to look at it, it looks like a singular image with a laying down skeleton inside a cross to the blind eye. You, however, investigating, can see that there are segments that seem to be out of place. Rather than it being a cross, there seems to be more to it than that.
Lan's not very strong. Would she be able to move these anyway?
You can go ahead and try, yeah. Yeah, so as you place your hand, which one would you like to attempt to move?
Strength. 13.
Yeah, which one are you attempting to move?
The bottom right needs to be turned 180 degrees.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, they all do.
Okay. That's the first one you've moved. And you hear the kum, 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 kum. Which one are you moving next?
Top right, again 180.
Okay.
Another strength check, or?
No, it's fine. You've kind of mastered how much force is required to move this. But as this one moves into place, you hear a I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
You take 3 points of poison damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as well. DC 15. No, sorry, DC 13.
Don't screw me. 19.
Okay, wonderful. Which one are you moving next?
Top left. (180° again).
Okay. This one moves into place and you hear the kum, 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 kum.
I'm gonna duck.
And are you moving the final one now?
Right.
This one moves into place, and you
Ducking
hear
again.
you hear the and the stone begins to shuffle along and slide along as it reveals the room behind the door. Give me 1 sec. You enter a dark crypt. There seems to be a series of 4 sarcophaguses, very mundane in decoration. The walls surrounding you lead you down into a corridor. At the end, you see an opening, like a doorway, and you can see the flickering of a very mild green light. The smoke again is retreating in the same direction as the path would lead.
Can anyone check for traps?
I mean, we can all check, but some of us might just not be very good at it.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Wow.
I'm good at that, actually. I can also disable.
So you're moving forward and actively looking for traps, yeah?
Yeah.
If you roll your investigation check, then please.
That I'm also good at that.
I mean, Summer, you seem to not find anything. You feel
Wow, what a surprise.
the path is safe. You progressing forward?
Jurek is going to lift the lid off the nearest sarcophagus and just like poke inside wildly with his spear.
Yeah, okay, so as you lift it, would you do a strength check for me?
You never do that.
Hello?
Hello? I didn't hear you say anything.
Sorry, strength check.
Oh, strength check. I'm good at them. He said, rolling a 4.
No, you kind of shift it, and it's like it's been sealed through the ages, worn, old stone, now fused together.
If I can't lift it, a skeleton can't. I say we keep going.
Okay. Continue through the passageway. As you come to the end of the corridor, you're greeted with like an interpass. It doesn't seem to go anywhere other than around a corner, and you can see a much more clear green glow to a room. You could see old remnants of runes that seem to have been burnt and etched into the stonework of the surrounding archway of the door leading the doorway that leads round this corner. You can hear the anything else?
Lana, any idea what they say?
No. Lana's currently hiding behind you. Not gonna lie.
I like very quickly jump to the left so she can so she can read them before ducking behind me again.
I'll remember read.
I can only assume they're in Druidic.
These are the same protection spells that once that you read upon the scrolls. It's just the wording is slightly different, but the meaning is the same.
Okay. Well, let's hope these protective wards don't backfire and trap us here for 100 years. I advance through.
Okay. You see, as you come round the corner, the ghostly form of Haflau, the risen necromancer, with his back turned, and he seems to be too occupied with this large statue of a reaper of sorts, and before him is a sarcophagus stone of some sort that seems to have been moved off, and you can see on top it was quite ornate. It looked like a laying warrior that would have grasped something by its chest, and you can see a series of scattered bones around the sarcophagus, and you see 3 glowing green flame fires ignite the way. And as you approach this corner, you can hear, "Yes, yes, closer. I will rise again. I will bathe in your blood. My master will be proud. Foolish adventurers, coming here." And
Trist?
he's kind of more like trying to devour into whatever this stone statue is providing him. You can see a pale blue glow come from the stone, and he kind of seems to be sapping in the energy of whatever it's providing. And you can see the slowly progressive black shadow begin to worm around his bottom of his legs and rise up his form as time passes.
I think I figured out where the sword came from, and I think I figured out who Tristrasig is, and I point at the ghost. I think it's best we don't give him that sword.
Really good. I don't want to part with it anyway.
Just don't go anywhere near him, and maybe don't taunt him this time. I'll leave Kegel with you.
I've made a series of bad decisions. I accept that.
We make bad decisions so we don't make them again.
Yeah, and I'm gonna then hide behind the wall before me.
Seeing as he's ghostly, I'm going to use the silver hand axe.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on him.
As you try to cast Hunter's Mark,
shit!
It's almost like the spell doesn't take hold. It's almost like there's nothing there to take hold of.
Does it use the spell slot?
Yes. I've casted it. It just didn't take.
Lana, try like druid crafting or something.
I'm gonna poke my head out and like, I'll just do a normal like storm whip and see if it will actually break through the barrier, because the barrier is still up, right? Yeah.
No, these runes seem to have been now gone. Like they were there, and the energy that caused them to be etched into the stone is gone.
I think this was the first wall to break.
Okay. It's too far away from most of my things. I'll shoot an arrow at it because they're magical.
That's just
7. It doesn't go near it.
All magic.
It just goes by, and you hear it clatter around in a corner of the room somewhere.
I was going to then curse in halfling and then hide back behind the pillar.
Do you think he saw us?
I think he might have.
Don't know what gives you that impression. Which is your token? Is you the light orange?
Me? No, I'm the blue. Okay. That's one.
Yeah, Kegra is going to stand next to you just in case the guy tries to jump you and steal the sword again.
As you kind of hide around the corner, and it's almost like he's eagerly eating or drinking something from this statue that's got like has this small glow to it, and you can hear him muttering away to himself. It's like, "I'll take that sword before you return it, and I will rise."
I'm going to. We going? We doing this? Gang?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's fucking do it, bro.
That's more like it. I step forward, chest full, and say, and my voice breaks. And I say, "You fiend, be you Trist Drassig?"
He kind of turns, but still facing the statue, looks over his shoulder at you and is like, "You think I'm Trist? No."
Oh, you're just a little bitch then. And I ready my spear.
I mean,
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Actually, no. Sorry, can I'll chuck the silver hand axe at him
Okay.
because it'll hopefully work better.
Okay. You throw your hand axe. It does pass through this form,
Fuck, it's an illusion.
but the blue energy that you see emitting from the front of this Reaper kind of dissipates, and you see the energies shoot across, and he kind of he's looking around at the statue. He's like, no, I need more souls. I can't wait. It must be a how do I make it go faster?
while he's being a little bitch, someone's gonna come over
Just
here
gonna stand there and take the
force
beating.
this
Sure,
open.
let's do this. And I
Your voice is more commanding than mine is.
I run up and I'm gonna bonus action make my spear longer reach.
Okay.
Is this
So
thing
I now
like
have reach with it. So if he wants to fight me, he has to move closer.
Sure.
coffin
Hopefully.
thing?
The
Making a sentiment
sarcophagus.
proc.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So the sarcophagus, its lid is partially off and rested to the side. It has a very ornate carved stone decorative of a figure laying and grasping at his chest. But you see where the fingers were, the fingers are kind of broken away. And whatever
where the
rested
sword came
within
from.
its chest is clearly not there. And the form that you can see within this sarcophagus looks like a very old version of what this ghostly form is wearing.
Haha.
There is a nameplate on the sarcophagus, but you would have to do an investigation check to.
I'm gonna make that investigation check.
Okay. He
Tell me
looks at you approaching, and he's not panicking at you approaching. He's kind of panicking about the fact that whatever he was feeding on, is not there at the moment.
Seems he's close to bringing Frasier back to TV. West too.
And you can see your blade is actually the silver blade that you threw at him is etched and wedged into the stone statue, where the statue is holding a bowl, and you can see a very, very, very faint blue glow that is almost growing, but it's still like a small flame on a candle.
Did the necromancer ghost thingy? Did he seem affected by the axe going through him?
No, it just passed straight through him.
Okay. My vote is that's an illusion. That's where the sword come from, and we definitely don't want that thing to come out of its shell.
Brilliant. What was the name? Yes.
With a 23,
Yes.
his name is Hufflau.
Ah.
Risen. Well,
Haha.
he's
About.
Hufflau of the Crawling King is his title.
Oh fuck, that name's not good news.
Well, after that, someone's going to come over here, and is that bow thing that the statue's holding, will it come off if she kicks it?
You can try.
Oh, I'm going to try. What should I do? A strength check?
Just if you're wanting to kick it, you can just do an attack.
I don't want to go like that yet.
You hit at this stone and it's really heavy, like granite, and it actually hurts you a little bit.
Oh, damn it.
But as you do kick it, you can see that the blue glow that was like a little flame is growing in size, and Hufflau kind of just looks at you to the side, ignores what you've done, and begins to grab at this blue glow, and he's like dragging it to his mouth like he's eating, like with his bare hands.
I say we smash this thing to pieces.
Yeah, but Laurel is going to ready her short bow, and Summer's going to ready her quarterstaff. Non's going to ready a short bow.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can smack the statue again with my silver hand axe.
Go ahead.
I'm going to smack it.
I'm good at one thing and one thing only.
I've come here to take names and chew gum. You making your attack?
Yep, 17.
Whatever. That'd be
Oh,
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you whack at it, and you see where this statue is holding out, gratifully holding out a bowl. You smash down at it, and it breaks a portion of the bowl, and the blue light does diminish a little bit.
Keep doing this, and I'm just going to keep whacking at it while everyone comes and joins in. You with a hammer, join in. You'll enjoy this bit.
yeah, let's fucking do this shit. Shale just hasn't been able to hear a couple of bits, just to let you know.
Yep. Did wonder why he was so quiet. Shell, it's almost obvious that whatever this statue is seems to be feeding Hufflau some sort of energy or essence.
Yeah, I was more looking to understand its arcade nature, how it's constructed before they destroy it.
I mean, it's kind of
it
hard
is,
to.
It will help.
Sorry.
It is if they to see if they break it, would it make it worse or to actually?
Witnessing the first attack, you can see that whatever power it's holding does seem to reduce when there's damage done to it.
Okay, then I'll take from my pouch, you see me taking a small piece of clay, and I'll cast earthen grasp, earthen grasp on the statue, and you see this giant cat paw coming out and grabbing the statue. So I'm guessing the statue does not get a strength save, just damage.
No, it's just a straight hit. Yeah.
So it's 2d6 bludgeoning.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And every round has an action. I'll continue.
Yeah, I mean that's
Crushing
enough
it in
to do
anyway.
it. You break the holding bowl of what this statue was luring over, and it smashes, and the blue light just dissipates and vanishes, and you see Hufflau like, no, you can't stop me. I will find a soul. I will return. And he kind of wisps around the room a bit and kind of vanishes into a corner.
That hurt less than last time.
Currently, you're still in this same room. The flames flickering, a strange green magical essence. You, Durac, can see within this sarcophagus that you're overlooking the form of like this robed form that looks very much like Hufflau, and the lid sort of off to the side, leaning.
I'm gonna like respect for the dead and all that, but I'm just gonna mess up the corpse a little bit.
Okay.
Like hit it in the face with the axe.
There's some bones surrounding the sarcophagus, so there's like a partial index finger and a femur.
Oh, so it's not in one piece.
No, it seems that whatever's caused him to wake kind of disturbed this whole environment.
Right.
Summer's gonna pick up one of the bones, pop it in her bag.
Right. Trying to get a timeline of events. So we got this sword. We found it on the body of Wizcrack, right?
Yep. Famous archaeologist.
So Wizcrack came here, set up the tent outside, hence the archaeology supplies. Came in, found the sword, stole the sword. That awakened some kind of ancient undead evil. He booked it. Then the druids had to set up the barrier and then killed Wizcrack for...
No.
Or the undead killed Wizcrack.
More like the undead killed Wizcrack.
Yeah. Yeah, the druids don't strike me as people who can kill.
This barrier seems so old that it just ran out of magic. It's not like he disturbed the barrier. And probably he didn't find the sword here because this guy was looking for it, actually. He might have found something else here.
But
have you read through the whole journal?
I would have when I went through it, I think.
Believe so, yeah.
Yeah, you did. You did take time to read the journal, if I recall.
And
but you did say it's in a lot of different languages.
Yeah. There's, but the portions, I think there was a portion that was decrypted, if I remember. Hold on.
Yeah.
See, because you've got keen mind, so I've got to tell you. Or is it old notes? Just give me a sec to filter through.
Also, I've just realised is a tablet that was found on Awesome Wizcrack's body. Yeah. Yeah. The tablet I've just realised has a worrying symbol on it.
Yep.
Is there anywhere in this room that tablet would have fit into the wall or something similar?
You can do an investigation check.
I was thinking the same, but yeah.
Because if he got the sword from here, and I mean, judging from the fact there's sword on the hilt and lack of fingers on the statue, that's pretty 1-to-1. But
doesn't seem to be anywhere that the tablet would fit onto or in. If I remember rightly, no, that's the druids. Where are we? Yeah. Really trying to find it now. Oh, God. I did write it down, but where is it? Can't recall where I put it. Partial writings of the journal indicate that he fell upon a mass grave near the ruin, deep in Bramblewood, followed by some druid protection symbols. His journal is written in mirror language and encrypted by Yep.
I'm just asking because if she could not read the whole thing, I have comprehend languages.
Yeah.
So I could read through the other parts that she couldn't.
Yeah, well, you'd be able to pick out some of the parts, but again, even with comprehend languages, it's still encrypted to a certain degree as well.
Yeah, I can read all written language.
Only if it's a known language, though. If it's an encryption that's been made up by someone, you wouldn't be able to recognize it.
Yeah. But being able to read it, I would probably get an investigation to see the description to try to solve it.
Right, I had it written out, but I can't find it now for some reason. I don't know where it is. But for time brevity, you were able to decrypt parts that say that he found the blade of Trist in a crypt that he was going to add to his collection of relics from the Great War of Tal'Dorei and the collection of Trist relics, and removing so he had awoken something, and he was able to close a barrier around the graveyard to keep in the evil from escaping. However, he believed it to only be temporary.
Huh. So he defined himself here.
So yeah, the note that was found clearly stated that Trist had left his blade in with a fallen comrade known as Haflau, in the attempts that others that followed their beliefs would find it and unlock and revive the crawling king.
this all of a sudden got a lot bigger than just fighting some zombies in the woods.
Yep, it did.
Oh boy. Right. I'm gonna do a sweep of the room, see if there's anything else in here that might be at all of use.
Yeah, I will also look
Yeah,
around.
yeah. So I'll give you. You've got better, so I'll give you advantage. I'll help you.
Okay.
I imagine your investigation's better than mine anyway. I've only got a +1.
It doesn't seem. Oh yeah, do your rolls. Yeah, your investigation of 18 should really get you. There doesn't seem to be much overall of value because of tomb raiders and bandits that are known to raid places like this. However, there is a chest in the rear of the room that the lock is actually completely ruined and has clearly suffered by the age of time wearing through. You do find within inside there is a rucksack type bag, quite ornate in its decoration, has partial leathers in green and a catch on it too, like a flap to cover over the contents. There's also a silver ornate longsword that matches.
Is that longsword? Sorry.
Yeah, just a silver ornate longsword, which matches the design of the one that looks like Trist's blade, but doesn't have any writing on the blade itself.
I warily put it to the side.
There seems to be a potion that is of like a very odd colour. It seems to swirl and glow with a pale, like white light inside. And there's also 2 healing potions inside.
Okay.
And you recognise them.
Those 3 things?
The light red that contains, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to have a rummage through the rucksack, see if there's any goodies in there.
As you put your hand in, you whirl around. You can't really feel where the bottom of the bag is.
Fuck yes.
But there doesn't seem to be any contents in there either.
So I get like up to my armpit before I notice anything's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Oh, you found a funny bag.
Of course you.
It's my favourite colour.
Of course, it's a bag of holding.
You could turn it upside down to see what's inside.
I'll do that then. I like turn it inside out, see if anything just sort of appears.
Yeah, there's another 2 healing potions inside.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so there is the pale, glowy, swirly potion, the silver longsword matching that of the baddie's sword, the magic backpack, and so that's 3 potions in total. Did you say?
There's 4 in total. 2 that
4
was
in total.
the chest,
Nice.
and 2 that were in the bag.
And the potion of weird colour.
And the potion of strange colour. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that a different one to the swirly, glowing, pale white one?
No, that's the same one.
Okay.
It's the same one, yeah.
Lovely.
Okay.
Oh,
are you
all
doing
sorts of stuff.
anything else in this area? You're leaving the sarcophagus
We can
open?
head back. Yeah, we can head back to the village.
Or the very least
I
outside.
Try to identify the sword portion there.
Okay, as you exit, if there's nothing else that you're doing within this crypt, you exit. You walk past the area that's available for you to actually rest up and camp for the night. So you can camp for the rest of the evening, which will bring you to a long rest. And I will close it off there. I think that's a good place to end.
I'd agree.
Yeah. If we're taking a long rest, I will before that actually identify the sword of the potion.
Yeah, no worries. I'll the sword
and the bag just in case.
if you're trying to identify the silver sword, there's no magical essence from it. It's just a silver sword. The potion.
You're breaking up a bit.
Sorry, the silver sword that you found just now is just a regular silver longsword.
It's just silver, okay?
Yeah, and the potion is a potion of radiant resistance.
Potion of what? Sorry.
Radiant resistance.
Makes sense that undead would have that.
Yep. You might find it handy.
Okay. Right, guys. That's that.